Deere all-wheel drive.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Full Send Half Mast podcast. Here tonight, we're going to have a full NASCAR Atlanta weekend recap, which is going to be a lot of ranting and raving here tonight by us here at the Dega Boys channel. If you've been around a while, you know our feelings about Atlanta, and we're going to share them with you again here tonight. We also have some nominees for Driver and Bonehead of the Week. We'll go over a little bit of point standings of the Cup Series after our first two races of the season, as well as previews for the real racing that we're going to see this weekend with the World Endurance Championship season opener at Qatar at LaSalle International Circuit. It's going to be an absolute banger. That will be on Friday. Also on the Xfinity Series side and the Cup Series side over at COTA this weekend for the Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas, as well as the season premiere for the IndyCar and Indy NXT season openers at St. Petersburg. It's going to be some fun racing. We'll give you guys all the breakdowns and previews for those races here in this podcast, as well as our NASCAR fantasy picks, which I feel like we are not doing very good, Tom, but we're going to rebound when we get actually to some real racing and some real tracks. But first off, Tom, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. Ready. I'll just be honest with you. Just ready to get this over with.
Heck yeah. I know I've not been
I-
looking forward to
In a
this
good way,
podcast. Yeah,
not a
exactly.
bad way. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that too. I was not looking forward to this podcast one bit because I just cannot stand Atlanta, and it didn't.
Mm.
My opinion didn't even change at all this weekend, not a bit. Um, yeah, I'm just excited for this weekend. We're what 62 days from Talladega. We're 5 days
Yep.
away from IndyCar. We're 3 days away from the World Endurance Championship. I mean, life is good right now. I got my Tommy Milner shirt finally, dude. I felt like
Yes.
I was living in like some foreign nation or something. Like it was hard for them to get that shipped to me because all of you guys are posting on the Discord, all you guys are shirts, and I was the last one hanging. It came yesterday. I unboxed or unwrapped it, threw it up there on the display. Super excited that that came in, but yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. This weekend is absolutely stacked with racing, and we're going to talk about that with you guys here tonight as well. First off, we do need to cover a little bit of news. Maybe a little late to this one, but the Chase Briscoe, we haven't even had the appeal for this one yet with the spoiler issues from Daytona, 100-point penalty, 10 playoff points, crew chief suspended for 4 races. Um, the way it's looking, I don't think he's going to beat this appeal. I don't think they're going to
No.
beat it at all.
No. If Parker couldn't get his appeal overturned, even though that was a NASCAR fault, it's not gonna happen. I mean, you can do your best, but at the end of the day, it's Big Daddy NASCAR.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're screwed. I mean, he's at what negative after Atlanta negative 60
You
something points back. I mean, he's screwed, man. He's not making the playoffs unless he
know what's
wins.
crazy to think, man? You and I have more points than Chase
Yeah,
Briscoe in the Cup Series. I
yeah,
love
dude.
it.
They didn't even have to make a start, man. Even Jimmy Johnson's got more points than him. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk that? I wonder how long Jimmy could stay ahead of Chase Briscoe in the points this year. That might have to be a running gag on our channel. Oh man. All right, the next little bit of news, and this goes a lot with what we're going to talk about here tonight, but there's talks that Kansas is going to get an Atlanta style reconfiguration, dude.
Oh
You
my
have
god.
got to be fucking kidding me, dude.
Literally the best track. I mean, it just took over the best track on the circuit after they demolished Auto Club. So
Facts.
I don't understand what we're doing here. I really don't. This is so disappointing. If true, if true.
If it gets repaved, dude, I am done, man. I am done with NASCAR and this bull crap, dude. It's so
It's
terrible,
so
man. We
bad.
have good
It's
tracks.
so
We
bad.
we either destroy them, we don't go to them anymore. We fans hate them. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. We've got a laundry list of tracks that they've ruined. Atlanta's ruined. They don't go to Kentucky anymore. When we finally started to get good races there, we don't go to Auto Club. They demolish that to the ground. We don't go to Chicagoland. It's just sitting there empty. I mean, it's just like the continuous amount of tracks we don't even go to Road America anymore. And those were some of the best freaking races we had when they went there. Like, it's
Yep.
just so much bullshit, dude, that we keep getting thrown into, man. And it's like, I hope this Kansas thing
Terrible.
doesn't come to fruition. If it does, whoever's thinking this in their head that Kansas needs to get reconfigured, I think you need to go see a mental specialist or a therapist or something and get your brain checked because you might have
Well,
a
let's
little bit of
you know
chromosomes missing or something.
let's there are people out there that thought that Atlanta was a good race. So
Oh,
you know.
yeah, we'll get into that here in a minute. I can't wait. All right, last little bits of news here. Road Ranger leaving Thor Sport and heading to go sponsor Sheldon Creed in the Xfinity Series for 13 races this year. I think that's dope, man. Everybody around the channel, if you've been around long enough, you know how I feel about Sheldon Creed. That's kind of cool to see him actually get a legit sponsor now. And maybe he can actually win a race or finish second 13 more times in the next 20 weeks. We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I guess, Corey Heim. He's signed up as a developmental driver for 2311. He's going to run some Select Cup Series starts this year. Also running in a Kwanzai 2311 Sam Hunt Racing F's Toyota Supra in the Xfinity Series for Select starts this year. I think this is good for Heim. I think Heim's got a lot of talent. The only thing I just want to see different with Heim is he can't seal the deal at the end of the season, man. I mean, he has
Yeah.
been the most dominant truck the last 2 seasons, and he got too hot-headed with Hosen Karsovar, which we'll talk about him tonight too, which is going to be fun. And then also not being able to finish it out last year by making that mistake on the restart violation.
Yeah.
I want to see
Yeah.
him be able to finish races out. Alrighty. Truck race, Tom. let's talk about it. To be honest, Atlanta's freaking terrible. This race was absolute garbage. I just didn't enjoy it at all. I just thought it was so boring. Um, I mean, the whole weekend was just a chalk it up to a waste of freaking time. Waste of absolute time. Waste of anybody's time. I would have rather went out and bird watched than watched these races. That's how bad this was. I don't even know where to start. We did get a George appearance this week, Dom. How about that? Corey Heim
How about
running out of gas there at the end of stage 2. So I'm gonna play that scene for you guys because we spotted George.
Hello, Mr. George.
Yes, sir. Good to know that George is still kicking around. How many times have we seen George already this year? We had one at Bathurst. We had a car run out there. Which one ran out at Daytona? I feel like we had one run out at Daytona too. One of the LMP2 cars, maybe.
Oh, that's right. It was LMP2, but it was during qualifying.
Yeah, it was during qualifying.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But we've had some good sightings of George so far this year, so that's been entertaining. He makes his appearance in Atlanta. I wonder where he's heading this weekend. He's got lots of options. He can either head to Qatar, he can head down to Austin, Texas, or he could be at St. Petersburg in Florida. So we'll see where he makes his appearance this weekend. He's got some options. If anybody's looking to help fund his plane ticket to a certain event, let us know. But we did get a Corey Heim running out of gas incident here in this race, which was pretty entertaining. He put him multiple laps down, took him out of contention of this race. Poor Frankie Muniz makes a mistake. Connor Mosack was really quick in this race, Tom. He had a good piece, lost track position late, and then he was trying to get around Frankie Muniz and off of turn 2. I don't know if Frankie Muniz just a lack of experience. I don't know if it's spotter's fault.
I think he shoved his nose in there. I think that was a classic Joey Logano Stenhouse Daytona move.
You think so?
Honestly,
I've seen
yeah.
it
I mean,
back several
how many
times.
more laps was in the race? Mosack had the fastest truck, or fastest vehicle in the race, right? He's working his way back up. He forced something. I feel like he didn't have to put his nose there. They were 4 wide. Why? Connor Mosack I feel like he just freaking threw it away, man. I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you make a good point. I mean, we had a lot of race left. So, I mean, that is one thing. When you have the fastest truck, dude, it seems like when these guys have the fastest vehicle, they always find a way to just throw it away. I mean, Hung Money, probably the biggest
culprit. Hung Money, baby.
Let me go under Mosack. Qualifies on pole, has a great run, and then he loses track position, throws it into the wall. And then again, with Frankie Muniz, I just don't know if I mean, I feel like a spotter had to at least said something there, because I mean, even if Mosack throws it to the outside, which I agree, I put a lot more blame on Mosack, especially considering that he has a faster car, but there's got to be a little bit of awareness there from the spotter to be like, hey, like, this guy's a little impatient. Maybe we should just let him have it here. There's still a lot of time in the race. I don't know. Maybe it's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it could go both ways. Just,
right.
I mean, I sincerely feel like this is a Stenhouse Joey Logano Daytona ordeal.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
You know, I don't understand the what do you call it, motivation to make moves like that. I don't know.
I think it comes back to the track, man. I really do.
Sure. That's a very valid point, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, just the way that this race played out, or I guess all the races in general this weekend played out, Tom, it just feels like you're watching like a giant yo-yo. It's a fast yo-yo. Like the cars are here, then they're there, and then they're here, and then they're there, and they're trying to lie to you, saying like that was just some balls out racing, man, the whole time.
Oh my god!
And it's like, dude, the track is narrow. I mean, we've also, thank God we didn't have any green flag freaking pit sequences in this race, because watching pit sequences under green at Atlanta, it literally breaks your mind. It breaks your soul. It makes you just want to roll up in a corner and just beat your head against the wall. I mean, it's awful to watch qualifying or to watch green flag pit stops at Atlanta. It's so freaking bad. Why? Like, there's just so much poor design with Atlanta. And then they're like, oh, the track is wearing, the track is wearing. Yeah, I mean, it is. But are we ever going to get to a point? Are we ever going to get to a point at Atlanta again, Tom, where the racetrack is spread out and we actually have strategy and have
no,
to
because stage racing
difference?
No,
exactly.
No, it's not going to happen. It's a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Especially for the people who keep freaking arguing that that's good racing.
It's terrible. It's absolutely garbage. I mean,
it's so bad.
Like the runs, like there's a different. See, this is what gets me, Tom. Is so many people last week at that Daytona race were just shitting on it, putting it down, calling it terrible, saying super speedways suck, and this and that, and that was a damn good race. Like, and then I watched this race, and I think the same thing that these fans thought about Daytona, I think that about Atlanta, and they think about Atlanta the way I thought about Daytona, and it's like I feel like I'm just in the minority. Like, saw all these. I think my computer just froze.
There we go. I hear you now.
All right, 1 second. I think maybe my I don't know what just happened. No HDMI signal. I'm not sure what just happened.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sorry about that, guys. My computer just decided to completely freeze on me and be lame. I don't know. I don't even know where I was at. I'll let you take over for a second here.
Yeah, I mean, you were on the point of, everybody complaining that Daytona was a bad race and Atlanta was a good race. And, and I agree with Jay. What we saw in Daytona is completely unpredictable lanes. Great runs happening, multiple lane changes. We never knew which line was the best line throughout the entire race. There was just so much unpredictability, which made the race interesting. And I feel like that is what you need in a race in order for people to get sucked into it, honestly. And for people to stay around and continue to watch the race. I think that's what we saw a lot in the early 90s and early 80s, really. I mean, really the 70s, 80s, and 90s when people were bringing new tech to the track and they would dominate for 1 week and then the next week their nemesis would dominate. And that's what built the fan base. Nobody knew what was going to happen in that week that when they showed up to the racetrack. I feel like that's what we had in Daytona. What we had in Atlanta was, let's take the Xfinity race, for example. Austin Hill, he would go like this. Oh, we're getting separation. A big run's coming. Big run's coming. And then we go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go like this. And then we go like this. There was nothing there. There was nothing of substance. The entire weekend.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up that Austin Hill thing because that was one thing that disappointed me with this damn freaking racetrack is the runs, they might look big on TV, but they're really not because what is happening is that leader, I swear to God, is just dragging the brake the whole time.
Yeah.
They're just absolutely just, I feel like the leader's like maybe 70% throttle and then like 20% brake pressure, just absolutely just riding that brake the whole time. And that's why you don't see guys being able to make moves because they get up there close enough. They get the run, which looks like it's a massive run, which to the idiot race NASCAR fan, they're watching it like, what? And they're just losing their fucking minds over it, dude. But then when you like actually realize what is happening and then watch it stall out just as fast as it developed, there's nothing there. There's nothing of substance. No. It's a one-lane dominant track on the outside against the wall. And I remember, God, what was it, 5-6 years ago or whatever, when Junior was racing and Stewart and all those guys would just take the field up to the top of the track at Daytona Talladega and they'd ride there for 150 laps out of a race, every time they went to a super speedway. And everybody used to bitch and moan and whine about it. But now they do it, and it's the best thing they've ever freaking saw on the entire planet. Like, make that make sense. It's ridiculous to me. And I mean, and then the broadcast on the Fox is still terrible. I mean, that's
Oh my
see,
gosh.
that's the part of the entire problem. It doesn't matter how good of a product you have. If your broadcast and your production value is garbage, it's terrible. And I don't want to watch it. I literally don't want to watch it. That's like trying to watch, I don't even know, man, any type of TV show and there's the cast is boring. They got no good, there's just nothing of substance there.
Yeah.
And maybe you got the best plot line ever, but when you don't have any substance with the characters, the actors, dude, it's not a good show. It's not a good product. That's what the broadcast feels like to me. I mean, again, Tom said it last week. I'm going to say it again. The whole Jamie Little experiment has failed. This whole rotating of drivers from the Cup Series broadcast these truck races has failed. We're done with it. It's garbage. It's unwatchable. It's when you're watching the race on mute, you know you've got a problem there, man. I'm excited for this weekend, dude. We got IndyCar back with Will Buxton, Townsend Bell, James Hinchcliffe. Like, this is going to be a freaking badass broadcast, dude. And then we get this crap. But then again, I have to say it again. That CW broadcast was freaking fantastic, man. That is the gold standard of a NASCAR broadcast, and it ain't even close. We haven't had broadcast this good in NASCAR since the day Darrell Waltrip left the booth. I mean, it is so freaking good to watch these broadcasts on the CW. Parker Kligerman, Jamie McMurray, the whole time they're oh my God, he's 3 wide. Oh my God, he's sliding through the middle. Here he goes. He's spinning. Oh no, there goes Corey Heim. And like, they're just having a freaking blast, man. And the race is terrible. Look, don't get me wrong. The freaking race was garbage. But listening to them, dude, it was entertaining as hell. Even Adam Alexander, I thought this guy was a moron. I couldn't stand listening to him. This guy's like almost like a lead Diffie at this point, man. He is good now. Like, what happened to Adam Alexander? I mean, I think what it is you put a little bit of energy with him, and it's like he just feeds off of it. Now he's got energy. Now he's good now. It's like it starts with the play-by-play guy, and I think that's the problem. I think Jamie Little's boring, and I think Mike Joy's boring. And it starts with the play-by-play guy, and if they're not having a good time, and then you don't have two guys measuring their appendages with each other the whole race, it can be good. It could be a good broadcast, man. I enjoyed the CW, dude. I thought it was mint. Alrighty. I mean, truck race, Kyle Busch at the end. What a dominant performance that he had at the end there. Like, he absolutely took them boys to school, dude. Every time the lane, like, see, that was the problem with Atlanta. The bottom lane isn't there at all, dude. It was like we'd get a massive run, barely be able to clear the leader. Oh, clear him, and then the next guy would, the bottom lane 3 laps later, finally get a run, and then that guy would just barely clear the guy up on the top. Like, that was what we watched the whole time, dude. How was that entertaining? I don't know, but Kyle Busch was like, I'm not going to let myself get cycled to the back like we saw with so many other guys. Like, I think Ben Rhodes, God, I can't even think of any of the other guys. So it was just a bunch of guys up on the outside line that just kept getting shuffled back one spot at a time because they refused to make a move back at the lead. Kyle Busch was the only one that was racing, dude. What the hell was that? I mean, to be honest, was that just Kyle Busch being better than everybody else, or was that just everybody else being so dumb and stupid? Like, I didn't understand what else watching.
I don't know, brother. I really don't. At all. Yeah. I have no words. I really don't.
It was such a terrible race, man. That truck race was so bad. I think it was the worst race of the weekend for sure. There's just nothing to talk about. I mean, Kyle Busch dominated at the end of the race and wins. We had a George moment. We had a couple wrecks that you're gonna see there. I mean, whoop-de-doo. Atlanta. Putting on a freaking well of a race, boy. Hell of a race. Xfinity, Austin Hill dominates. There's nothing to talk about in this race. Austin Hill dominates. And why the hell, can you explain to me this, Tom? Why the hell would you push the fastest car all day long? Knowing you're not going to be able to pass him, but everybody in unison just decides we're going to stick to the back of that 21. If he goes somewhere, I'm going with him. We're going to push him to the end. If I've got him cleared, I'm not going to make a move up to block him. I'm going to follow him to the I swear to God, everybody in that field was a bunch of sheep, dude. If Austin Hill would have drove that thing straight into the turn one wall, they would have followed him in there. That's how I feel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, that's what happened. There's, I don't know. I can give credit where credit's due, right? Austin Hill had a freaking phenomenal car, right? Like he definitely had the fastest car all weekend, and it's not really surprising. I mean, he's just really good at those kind of tracks. But there should be more opportunity for other drivers to be able to make a pass. It was virtually impossible. The only shot that I ever saw somebody being able to pass Austin Hill on merit was Allgaier going down the back straightaway on the final restart. And he didn't even seize the opportunity. Because, I don't know, was he too scared? Just, I don't know. That race sucked. It was just bad. It just sucked.
I'm glad you bring up the Justin Allgaier thing. I agree. The race was terrible. I mean, it feels like it's Austin Hill's one man against the world and he's better than the world. That's how it feels because it's like nobody works together to beat him. Like if I was in that race, let's say me and you, Tom, we're in that race right there and we're not even teammates. Let's say I'm racing for Haas and you're racing for Gibbs. And it's like at the beginning and driver it's just like, you know what, dude? We're not going to beat that 21 by ourselves on merit. Let's work together here, dude. I don't care if you win. I don't care if I win. Let's just work together and see if we can beat this damn guy. And none of them did it, man. Just felt like they walked into their
all race long.
Trap. All race long. Every time you get cars lined up, they would just abandon each other. They wouldn't even try to push. And like you said, the runs weren't even runs. Like watching it, you moronic NASCAR fans that think whatever you saw was freaking awesome or whatever. There were not runs, bro. There were not runs. What it was is Austin would get a little too far away ahead, and then he would hold the brake, back up the field, and then they'd get there, and then he would just have to make one little dicey move, just one little block, and it was over. Because if you went to the bottom, you're going to the back. I mean, it's just what it was all race long. It was terrible. And then Justin Allgaier, I lost all respect for Justin Allgaier this weekend. Every ounce of respect that I had for him is gone out the window. I hope this guy loses every race he ever competes in for the rest of his entire life. I mean, the fact that he cleared Austin Hill, the only guy all day long to have a chance to clear the fastest and best driver in the field in the race at the end of the race with like 3 laps to go, clears him, knowing that the outside line's dominant, knowing that the inside line sucked, knowing that you had no help behind you, knowing that's the best car in the field, knowing that's the best driver in the series at these types of tracks, and you decide to not block it and stay to the bottom and you lose the race. And then not only that, at the end of the race, instead of pushing Almirola past him for a potential chance at a win, you decide to damage your own car going for a pass for second. I mean, this is Daniel Hemrick shades of Atlanta 2023. I mean, what a freaking moron this guy is. I mean, absolute dumbass. I mean, absolute buffoonery, moronic. I mean, I can't stand Justin Allgaier. And then he gets out of the car and he says, I made the right decision. I made the right decision today. He has to go home and look himself right in the mirror and tell himself that he made the right decision.
He has to go home and tell his wife that.
Tell his wife that I did everything I could to make this much money for put the food on the table tonight, man. Like, what an absolute dumbass, dude. I can't stand. I'm nominating him for Bonehead of the Week. He probably won't win, but as far as I'm concerned, that was the stupidest freaking thing I've ever seen, man. And then for him to get out with his stupid look, oh, I made the right decision. Like, I mean, that's stupid, man. Even Dale Jr. on his freaking podcast said he was stupid for doing that. I mean, everybody there knew he was stupid for doing that. That was the dumbest thing I ever saw. Just hands the race to Austin Hill, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I have nothing else for Xfinity. Is there anything else you want to add to this? I mean,
hell no.
We do need to talk about Sieg's amazing save, though. We do have to talk about that. Holy cow, dude. That was one of the best saves I've ever seen, brother. That was insanity, dude. Oh my god.
Don't sleep on this, man.
Oh, also,
he's gonna win a race this year.
You were gonna talk about Parker Retzlaff. You had something to say about Retzlaff, dude.
Ooh, I did.
With Junior, with
Oh,
Jordan Anderson.
yep.
Yeah.
Look, it just goes to show, Parker Retzlaff, what a freaking race car driver. What a freaking race car driver. Back-to-back top fives? I'm pretty
Well, he
sure.
did. No, he wrecked out at the end because they didn't throw the yellow, which
Oh,
we'll
that's
talk about
right.
that in a second. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, anyways, besides the point, where is he putting that? It's Alpha Prime, right? Alpha Prime car?
The 4. I'm not sure what the 4 is. It's not JD Motorsports anymore.
It's
but
not JD anymore.
It might be Alpha Prime.
Shit,
I
I
mean,
don't remember. It
regardless,
doesn't matter.
that it's so irrelevant. We don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody thought that move he made in the offseason was a downgrade. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm confident in saying that Parker Retzlaff could be what we saw Ross Chastain in a JD car a couple years ago in Xfinity, making moves, becoming something, and literally having nothing to do it with. That guy actually, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Ross Chastain how he drives. Just full force, no give up, no nothing. I mean, he's just looking for the best possible outcome that he can get. Which was incredible what we saw. But you know what? What a damn shame for Jordan Anderson Racing to drop him like that. Maybe not Brett Moffitt-esque, but maybe so, actually. Maybe so. Maybe
It's
so.
right up
That's a damn shame.
Yeah, I agree. I think Parker Retzlaff had an amazing race. I mean, he looked like Anthony Alfredo did the last few years in this race. I mean, that was fun to watch. Didn't get the result he deserved. I mean, the caution, the inconsistency with the cautions. I mean, we get a caution. We don't get a caution to finish the Xfinity race, but then we get one for the Cup race, which, again, like I said last week, I don't care what we do. If we race back to yellow or we race the caution, we just have to do it every freaking time the same, man. Like, come on. How are you going to be able to tell people that just tuned in on accident that are watching the end of this race, how are you supposed to explain to them why we did it this way this race and this way this race? It takes so much time and quite frankly, too much effort for something that doesn't even matter because this race was terrible to even sit down and have to explain it to you. But the fact that you just can't do it the same every time is just getting to a point where it's unwatchable, man. It's just unwatchable. Being a true racing fan like I am, I kind of feel like we need to just throw the yellow every time we have a wreck at the end of these races. I really don't care at this point. Like, I know that people are going to say, well, NASCAR cares about safety, but we've gone over that 1,000 freaking times. They don't give a shit about safety. They don't care. They don't care. But I care. I care about safety.
It happened this weekend. Ryan Blaney was halfway through turns 1 and 2 sideways. Not halfway. He was sideways through the whole corner. They didn't throw a caution until he was at the exit of the corner. You can't convince me. You can't convince me.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about safety. I mean, I could probably make a montage on YouTube. I could make a video of inconsistent finishes, inconsistent cautions, and everything from the last 3 years, and it would probably be a 30-minute long video. I mean, that's just how terrible it's been officiating wise with NASCAR. It's to the point where it's not even entertaining. They're trying to go is the entertainment factor, which I've explained this last week. There's no need to go back into it, but there's a fact that it's not even entertaining anymore. It's just safety's thrown out the window, the entertainment. Like, even with the Ryan Blaney one, we even had Chase Elliott hitting the wall off of turn 4 down the tri-oval, broken toe link. The car's dead sideways, basically.
Yeah,
trying to save it.
Exactly.
And they didn't throw the caution until after Keselowski comes in and frickin' T-bones him in the door. What the is that? What is that? What are we doing?
Garbage. It's garbage is what it is. It's just garbage.
It's unbelievable, man. And again, we need to do the same every single time. Again, weekly check-in on the Fox broadcast. Boyer's an idiot. Actually, Boyer's dumb and Harvick's dumber. That's all I could say.
Which one's dumbest, though?
Mike Joy, probably.
It's...
Oh, man. It's so bad. The broadcast is just so bad, dude. We had so many. That was the thing too. Is like I'm not gonna come on here and lie to you. I barely watched this race. I think I explained it to Tom before I got in here. I would watch for like 5 minutes, get so bored out of my freaking mind. I'd have to get up and do something, dude. I went and did my dishes, came back, checked on the race. Nothing's changed. Still the same boring ass
Fed my
crap.
dog, mowed the lawn, took out the trash,
yeah.
took a crap,
took a walk, yeah. Did everything but watch this race, basically. And there was nothing good about it. Shout out to Michael McDowell. 6 laps down, recovers all the way back on the lead lap.
Awesome race.
Unbelievable for him, man. That was good to see. Eric Jones, bonehead nominee for me. That, again, we're in like, what, stage 1 or 2? I came back to the TV and watched the replay of this. I mean, that was just stupid. I don't know what the hell he was doing there. That was just, I don't know who to blame on that. It was spotter was telling him you're clear, if he thought he was clear. I don't know. That was just stupid. Especially considering that he's going to have to get these good performances. He's going to have even in a sniff at these playoffs. I mean, that was just stupid to me. Recchi and Elliott getting into it. Again, inconsistent with the caution. Also, Suarez losing his control of his race car and ended up collecting half the field. I mean, that makes sense. Chase Briscoe being Chase Briscoe. I mean, continuing to being. I'm just still not sold on Briscoe. I feel like this whole JGR thing is gonna fall to pieces. I just don't see it working out. He looked like a clown again this weekend. He ends up taking out Buescher and Bowman. I do want to talk about everybody's favorite public enemy number 1. Probably my second, probably my new favorite driver. Tom probably put him at number 1. I'll probably put him at number 2 still. But I love this guy, man. I hope he never changes, dude. Hosen Karsavar is a freaking beast, dude. We need more Hosen Karsavar, Tom. That's what we need in our world right now, dude.
We really do. We really, really do.
I mean, he had run-ins with everybody. We had Kyle Busch, KFB's cussing at him. He pisses Blaney off. And then Chastain. You got to talk about Chastain, Tom. You brought up a good point before we started the stream about Chastain.
I think he's gone soft. I think he's gone so soft. What? He's gonna go to Carson Hocevar after the race and lecture him on driving. My guy, that's what made you Ross Chastain. Is doing shit like that. And then you're gonna go and lecture somebody else on it? I mean, dude, who are you? Who are you? I mean, just for that, I mean, honestly, like, I lost a lot of respect. I did. You know? I lost a lot of respect. And honestly, I mean, let's go Hosen Karsavar, man. Don't freaking change, man. Don't change. You will be the next superstar in NASCAR. You will be. You will be. You gotta just screw those guys, man. Screw them. You don't need them.
Yeah.
You need to do what's best for you and your team. That's what you need to do. This stuff, I don't know, man. That was crazy to me. That was crazy, actually.
You're not out there to make friends,
Soft.
man.
Soft.
That's why all these drivers are soft, dude. It's because they're all freaking buddies with each other off the track, man. They're all best friends. And it's like, they talk about all the time with the drivers from like the late 80s, early 90s, where none of those fuckers were friends, bro. They didn't like each other. They didn't hang out at each other's houses. They didn't go fishing together. They didn't go on vacation together. They didn't go to each other's weddings. They didn't give a damn about each other, man. They're out there racing for themselves and themselves only. And those were some of the most meanest, aggressive race car drivers back in the day, doing crazy things. That's what we need, man. We need more Hocevar, dude. That was fun to watch, man. And every time somebody got mad at him, I got more excited and more happy and started cheering him on more. I was cheering for him to win the race at the end, even though Bell was up there racing, and I wanted to see Bell win, to be honest. But I would have loved to see Hocevar win this race. Hosen Karsavar is an absolute beast. Public enemy number 1. I'm pulling for him forever. I mean, we saw glimpses of it last year, Tom. I mean, racing up in the top 10. I mean, having phenomenal runs. I think Hocevar is an absolute Chad driver, dude. He's going to win races. He's going to be a championship contender, superstar. He just can't change. He's got to race selfish as hell for the rest of time.
And
race like he did.
aggressive. Be aggressive.
I love it, man. I gotta get myself a hosting Carsovar shirt and something. When I go to
Yeah, I
Dega,
mean that's
when we go to the merch
exactly.
stores,
That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
get me a Host and Carsovar shirt.
Yep, and I'm gonna get a hat and everything, dude. I'm all in on hosting Carsovar, man. I think he's a freaking beast, dude. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, I guess with the inconsistent finishes, I think I got a new merch store add-on that I want to add to our merch store. I think, Tom, we need to have a T-shirt that says "What is a caution?" You know, like that old saying that was like, "What is a woman?" We need to do "What is a caution?"
I agree.
That would be the next best T-shirt idea, dude. I'll get those made up on the merch store for you guys. If you guys are interested in "What is a caution" T-shirts, I'll have those up on the merch store so you guys can pick one up. Because that's exactly how I feel watching NASCAR, dude. It's just like, what is a caution? I don't think they know. We don't know. Nobody knows. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, Christopher Bell wins. Again, inconsistent caution. We throw it right at the caution instead of the precedent they set the day before. Again, I just want to see consistency. I don't care what we do. Just want to do it the same every time. And then my last note again, awful broadcast yet again. I just have to say it. I mean, did we sum up Atlanta good? Terrible race, terrible broadcasts, except for CW. Hosted in Carsovar's a beast. Chastain got soft on us. KFB dominating. Allgaier's a moron, idiot. Did we miss anything?
No. Big Daddy NASCAR?
Big Daddy NASCAR. Big Daddy NASCAR.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
All right. Well, we could go into Atlanta more, but I think we have probably like 5-6 different videos on our channel based around Atlanta. So if you guys want to see more Atlanta hating, nothing's changed in our opinion from those videos. So if you guys want to go back and watch those, you guys are welcome to. I even think I made like a 40-minute long explanation on why Atlanta was the worst race in the next gen era. I think I have that video.
Sucks.
Too. So if you guys want to go check out those Atlanta rants, you guys are more than welcome to, because I'm done talking about Atlanta. I'm glad that we don't have to go back for a long time, and I'm not looking forward to them going back. Alrighty. Drivers of the week. I'm going to nominate Bailey Curry, P4 in the truck race. He ran a fantastic race, put himself in position late. Nick Sanchez, we didn't mention him with the Xfinity series, but that dude was wrapped up in just about everything. Spun sideways, out of control, hung on to his race car, kept it for the most part clean, ran in the back of somebody at one point, somehow finished P5. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable race that Nick Sanchez had. And Nick then Sanchez, obviously,
and he had a hole in his nose, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he was working with that damage all race long. You know, Parker Klickerman-esque.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, I agree. That was insane what he was able to do with that race car. And the result he got was unbelievable. And then lastly, Hosting Carsovar, man, P2, man, what a run! Best career finish in the Cup Series. Future superstar, as Tom said. Boneheads of the week, Justin Allgaier. I mean, this guy's an absolute freaking moron. He didn't block Austin Hill in the Xfinity race. This guy's an idiot. I like I said, dude, I'm not even saying that just to troll. Like, I genuinely feel that I hope he never wins another race in his entire life. Like, I hope that if he's in a nursing home when he's 90 and they're doing scooter races, or what do they call them? I don't even know what they're called. But I hope he loses that too. I hope he loses everything for the rest of his life. That was just stupid. Lost all respect for Justin Allgaier. And then Eric Jones wrecking himself. That was just stupid in the Cup race in like stage 1 or 2 for like 25th. I mean, that was just a stupid move to make. And then obviously we didn't even talk about this one, but old Hung Money walling Austin Cindric. That was absolutely BS, man. That was the most Denny Hamlin-esque freaking move I've ever seen, dude. Especially the guy that complains about Denny Hamlin. As much as he does doing that shit to him, he does it to Austin Cindric, who had the best car, who would have won. Which, let's be fair here, Tom. If Austin Cindric would have won that race, he would have went 3 for 3 on picks this week, man. Just think about that. I thought about that right when Cindric got put in the wall. I was like, God damn it, man. I was hoping Cindric would win just for Tom to go 3 for 3 for the weekend. Because you got Busch, you got Hill, and you almost had Cindric, man.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Well,
I can't believe Larson did that, man.
I mean, honestly, it's almost like story of his career in the Cup Series right now, honestly, because He's so freaking good at super speedway racing. He's so good. He just never finishes it. Never finishes them. And then when he does finish them, he wins them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I'm just yeah.
I feel that. He's currently fourth in points right now, which the point standings are Blaney is the points leader right now. He's 12 points ahead of Byron and 15 points ahead of Reddick for the regular season championship. So, and then Cindric right there in P4. So he's having a good start to his season. Let's see if he can keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I think it's time. This is what I've been most looking forward to all podcasts long. We're going to preview the races this weekend. We got Xfinity and Cup at Coda, WEC at LaSalle International Circuit, Qatar for the 12-kilometer race, and then Indy and Indy NXT at St. Petersburg for their debut as well this season. 2 series are debuting this season for their new 2025 season. Super exciting. Notable entries for the Xfinity Series at Coda, we have Ross Chastain in the number 9 for Junior Motorsports. Hostin Karsavar will be in the number 14 for SS Greenlight. William Byron for Hendrick in the 17. Riley Herbst in the 19 for JGR. And then Corey Heim with Sam Hunt Racing in the 24. And then Austin Green. If you guys remember, was it last year or 2 years ago at Coda? He kind of made himself known. He's really prominent in the Trans Am series. Made his start last year at Coda, or maybe it was 2 years ago, and ended up finishing in the top 10. I think he finished like 6th or 7th. I mean, a phenomenal run. He'll be making a start again this weekend for Jordan Anderson in the 32. And then the Cup Series, we got Connor Zilic making his Cup Series debut in the Trackhouse number 87 Red Bull machine. Cannot wait to see Connor Zilic do good this weekend.
Can we just appreciate how beautiful that car looks?
Oh, it's amazing, dude.
It's incredible.
The Red Bull cars in NASCAR, man, are just so sick.
It's needed.
I hope they bring back the Silver Bullet Red Bull scheme, man. That was sick when they had that in the Cup Series. What was it? Brian Vickers had the Silver Bullet number 83. That thing was beautiful.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Alrighty. Let's start off with the World Endurance Championship. Opening round at Qatar, the 1,812-kilometer race. The only race that's going by distance instead of time all season long. The opener for the World Endurance Championship. New teams, new manufacturers. We went through a full season preview with you guys here on this channel a couple weeks back on a podcast, maybe a month back from now. And this is going to be an absolute banger of a race. This race last year was super thrilling. We had a great battle at the end. I remember Porsche ended up making a lot of mistakes and going through the gravel pits. Alpine had one of their best runs of the year. Peugeot had their best run of the year until they had that fueling issue because old George definitely had to make his way to Qatar last year for some reason. And then we had a lot of drama. We had the GT3 battle was intense. I don't see anything different here, man. This race is going to be an absolute freaking banger. The prologue is in the books from last weekend. We had some great, interesting times, man. It looks like this weekend in the GT3 class, it looks like it's going to be a battle between Aston Martin and Ferrari. Based upon times from the prologue, those cars were super fast. They have courses in the Heart of Racing teams were quick. And as far as it goes to hypercar, the Jota Cadillacs were really super quick. The Ferraris were super quick. The BMWs were leading the board in the prologue. Unbelievable after how terrible their season was last year in both IMSA and WEC. They go out to Daytona. They compete for the win. They go to the prologue, and they're the fastest car on the board. I think it's going to be an absolute thrilling race. I think there's going to be so many different strategies, so much different evolving storylines throughout this race. Typical World Endurance Championship style. We're going to see probably 4 or 5 different manufacturers leading at some point through all the strategies and all the shakeups. But when it's all said and done, the team that's going to win the hypercar season opener in the World Endurance Championship is a team that ran Porsches last year. They switched to Cadillac. They're the premier Cadillac team representing the World Endurance Championship. All the money and investment the Cadillacs put into it. They brought in some Chad drivers. They've got Sebastian Bourdais behind the wheel, this number 12 machine. I am taking the number 12 Jota. This team is going to be an absolute rails all race long. I'm excited to see them absolutely dominate. And Bourdais is going to get some damn redemption from freaking Big Daddy IMSA taking his damn Rolex 24 victory away. And I think that they were so fast in the prologue. I think that they're going to be able to control the race. Their driver lineup is stout. I think this is their time to shine, man. I think that they're going to get the dub in this World Endurance Championship season opener here at Qatar. My dark horse, and like I said at the beginning with my little monologue here, The team that absolutely surprised the world last year. This was the best run they had all last year. They had terrible runs everywhere else they went. They finally got that wing on that race car. I think it's changed some things. They ran out of fuel. George made his appearance at Qatar last year. I think Peugeot is going to have the best race of their season once again at LaSalle. They're my dark horse. And who knows, man? By the end of this race, we might be looking up and just absolutely see a miracle upset with Peugeot on the top step of the podium. That would be an absolute thrilling way to start this racing season. All right, Tom, who do you have for hypercar?
Well, I kind of got my numbers backwards here, which isn't a problem because, I agree with everything you said about Jota. I'm just a Bourdais fan. I like Bourdais. I like what he does. He's done some incredible things in his career. I'm just a Bourdais fan. I'm always going to go with Bourdais when it comes to racing like this. So I was actually looking at the 2024 entry list instead of 2025. I should have known better because I don't know. Sometimes I can be an idiot, which is fine. But I'm also going to go with the number 12 Jota. And then for my dark horse, I'm also going to go with the 94 Peugeot. I took them all last year. I just want to see Peugeot win a race. We'll see if... Don't they have an updated car? Don't they have a rear wing now?
Yeah, they got the rear wing now. So that makes a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
And I think they got the lowest BOP as well when I was looking at the BOP. I think they got one of the more favorable
It's posted
ones.
in the Discord.
Yeah, I think I posted it.
Yeah, they are.
Or maybe you did.
Yeah. They are one of the more favorable hypercars going into Qatar in terms of they have the least amount of BOPs on that car. So maybe we could see some good things out of Peugeot. I'm kind of skeptical still because designing a car around not having a rear wing and then slapping a rear wing on it could be some issues. I don't know. Well, again, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I hope they're competitive. I hope they're fast. But I'm here to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Well, with the weight to power balance they have with their BOP, I feel like the straight line speed's going to be there. They're going to be quick on the straight lines. Qatar is built for having long straightaways and being able to have fast straight line speed. Where they get beat is in the corners, and that's where I'm really worried about. Hopefully, maybe with with the wing on the race car now, maybe that's going to be an opportunity. There's a lot of intricate sections there in the middle sector of this race course. It's going to be interesting to see how they are able to perform. But I'm with you. I think Peugeot is the team to watch this weekend for sure. And they're fast in the prologue, man. I think they were one of the top 7 teams in the prologue, so it's going to be fun to watch. Obviously, you can't count out Porsche. They were super slow in the prologue. They ran some of the most laps of anybody. I don't know if they're working on race pace or single car pace, but they definitely were slow. They won this race last year. Can they defend? And then obviously, you can't count out Ferrari either. Ferrari's just so good at Qatar, so we'll see. All right, when it comes to LMGT3, I am going to take Aston Martin, the hardest racing, number 27. I feel like this is the year that Aston Martin takes that step forward and competes for the World Championship and the World Endurance Championship, it competes for the championship and the World Endurance Championship. This team, if you guys remember last year, they were so slow all year long. They couldn't get out of their own way. And then when they got to Coda, everything changed. Everything just completely flipped 180. They dominated that race at Coda. And then to end the year, I think it all changed when they flipped at Le Mans. They flipped at Le Mans. That they hit their ultimate down low that they could have possibly hit. And then they go up to Coda and they absolutely dominate Coda. And then the rest of the season, they kind of were the most dominant team towards the end of the year. They got caught up to Porsche. They end up overtaking Porsche. I think this is the year that Aston Martin is going to absolutely dominate this year in the GT3 class, especially now that they've got even more information. Now they're bringing in the Valkyrie and the hypercar. They're really running good in the IMSA championship as well. They didn't really have the 24-hour that we would have liked to see, but I think that this is the year that they really show their muscles. I'm taking them to win. And then my dark horse, and it's purely for one reason. Well, it's not really just one reason, but the main reason here is old Valentino Rossi, dude. I am a huge Valentino Rossi fan. Every time he gets behind the wheel of that 46 BMW machine, it turns into pure freaking cinema. Whether it's a GT3, GT4, it doesn't matter what he's driving. It is pure cinema. I mean, I still have flashbacks to watching him back at Fuji last year when he was slicing and dicing and 3-wide moves, slide job all day long on everybody, crossover moves out from hell. I mean, it's just, and then just a few weeks ago, Bathurst did the same thing again. He was going through through Mount Panorama, through some of the intricate, tight blind corners, and making dive bomb moves. And I mean, it was just so fun to watch Valentino Rossi. Every time he gets in the car, like I said, it's pure cinema. And I think that this weekend, when he gets behind the wheel, he's going to be on an absolute mission. I love the driver lineup that he's with this year. I think that this team is just going to be so much fun to watch. I'm super excited for Valentino Rossi. I'm super excited for BMW, and they're fast. We saw it at Daytona. I mean, if they didn't throw themselves out of contention by messing with the wrong Tommy Milner man, they probably could have won that race too. But
yeah, they probably could have.
But I think BMW is on a mission this year. I think it's gonna be I think the LMGT3 championship is gonna be tight this year. I think in the offseason I said Manthey was gonna go back to back with the Porsche this year in the championship. And then I said watch out for BMW and Aston Martin. I really still feel that same way. I think that's gonna be between those teams. I think it's gonna be between WRT. It's gonna be between Harder Racing. It's gonna be between Manthey. I think that's gonna be your LMGT3 championship battle. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Jay, I'm really not going to share the love here on the Aston Martin. I completely agree with everything you said. Last year at Le Mans, when they flipped, it just seemed to go downhill. But honestly, they crawled their way back up towards the end of the season, and they really made a statement that Aston Martin, we were knocked down at Le Mans, and we were running good at Le Mans, but they can come back and win a race. So I think that the 27 was really building upon last year. They're gonna have. I think that they're gonna have some more support at the track now too, considering that the Valkyrie program is now going to be at the track as well. Whether that means more Aston employees, if there's anything that they can share with each other or whatever, I just feel like having someone there to maybe even bounce ideas off of could be a huge benefit for this team. I think that Aston is really on a very steep incline right now based off of just straight performance. And I'm really excited to see what they have in Qatar. They're going to have some pretty stiff competition. But regardless, I think that the 27 is going to do pretty well. For my dark horse, I took them out last year. All right. This year, I took them at Daytona. They won the freaking race, brothers. They won the race. I'm going with the 77 Proton, baby. The 77. You know what reminds me, or what's the best memory I have of this team? Le Mans last year, when they wrecked that piece of shit, and then they come into the garage, and this woman is just pointing fingers, telling people what to do, just screaming at them, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude! I love this shit. I love it. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be successful in time. Thank God were they successful at Daytona. I hope to God they're successful in Qatar. Oh, it's so exciting! I am so excited for Ford at Qatar, and I've been making a meme out of their rear wing pillars. I'm glad they proved me wrong. I really am. I will admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong, but I'm really excited for the performance of this Ford, and I hope they absolutely kick ass this weekend.
Dude, it just feels good, man, like with what Ford's doing, dude. It feels like Ford's finally back to compete at the world stage. Man.
And we're getting an LMDH program,
yeah,
baby!
We are. 2027. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so super stoked. We're going to get... There's so many more because Hyundai may be looking at 2027, 2028. Yeah. McLaren, I mean, with Zach Brown, I mean, as much as I hate him, I would love to see him try to get a package put together too. But yeah, man, sports car racing it's an absolute peak right now, man. I love it, dude. It's so mint right now. This race is going to be so good. World Endurance Championship this year is going to be an absolute banger thriller all season long. I think the championship isn't going to be one of these championships that's decided early. I think it's going to come down to the bitter freaking end. Especially looking at these BLPs, man. I think they nailed the BLPs this year. We're going to have to see how it plays out. Remember Toyota last year got killed with the BLP. It looks like they might have kind of walked that back a little bit. So maybe Toyota will be a lot faster this year. And then obviously, like we mentioned, with the Valkyrie coming in with the Aston Martin, we'll see how they do. Lamborghini said screw World Dirt Championship this year. They're running IMSA only. They're going to obviously make their run at Le Mans. We'll see how they can rebound. But I mean, sports car racing is at no better place than at any time in history than it is right now, in my opinion. I love it. I think it's great. Alrighty. On Saturday, the Xfinity Series, Focus Health 250 at Coda. My favorite, and I think this is just, I'm a huge Connor Zilisch fan. Let's just get this straight. I say it all the time, man. Back to his MX5 days, watch him at Daytona. I knew this guy was going to be the next greatest freaking race car driver. And when I watch him in the Xfinity Series, I pull for him every week. Him and Creed, those are my guys in the Xfinity Series. I love watching them. Zilisch could go race anything around the world, and he chose to come race a damn Xfinity car for Junior Motorsports. And I think it's going to pay off this weekend. He's going to get his second career Xfinity Series win here this weekend at Coda. If you remember last year in that truck, man, he absolutely obliterated the field in qualifying. I think he does the same this week. I think he gets to the front of this field. I think he keeps the track position all day, and he puts on an absolute freaking clinic for the ages. Let's go, Connor Zilisch. We got to come up with a cool nickname for this guy because he is mint. Fantastic race car driver, man. For my dark horse, like I said earlier with the notable entries, this guy finished like 7th last year in his first start in the Xfinity Series. I think this dude has got a lot of talent. Like I said, he's very prominent in the Trans Am Series. He's won multiple races over there, championship contender. I think he's going to be a man to watch if he gets more opportunities at these road courses in the Xfinity Series. I know the equipment might not be the greatest. I mean, it's not terrible. We've seen Jordan Anderson equipment do okay before. But I think he's very talented, man. I think Austin Green is a great dark horse this weekend. I think you're going to see him in the top 10 by the end of this race.
All right. For the Xfinity Series, I was talking to Jay earlier for favorites and whatever. I mean, I could choose Zilisch here and whatever. He's really my pick for the championship this year as well. But I'm going to share the love just a little bit here. I'm going to jump ship. I'm going to throw it towards Corey Heim. He's on a big hype train right now. Just got announced to 2311. Running some cup races this year. Still, flying under that Toyota banner. Maybe we see just a impeccable Corey Heim this weekend. I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. But what I'm really excited about is my dark horse here. Really excited about him because I've never heard this dude's name in my life before, and somehow he got a ride. I sincerely, Jay even looked him up, couldn't even find a thing on the dude. I mean, shit, I don't know. Don't chastise me if I get this wrong. Baltazar Legusamon. I know nothing about the dude. He's kind of got a cool last name. Good luck.
I like it, dude. See, we share love with everybody here at the Digga Boys channel. I love it. I'm excited for this race. I think this will be it'll be a banger race. Xfinity Series on any type of road course is badass. And we don't, like I think I mentioned, we don't really have a lot of the same heavy hitters we've had in the past with like AJ Allmendinger and SVG in the field, but I still feel like it's still going to be a damn good race all the way down to the bitter end. All right, Sunday morning before the IndyCar race, we do have the Indy NXT, the Grand Prix of St. Pete. We have a whole season preview with the IndyCar series we did a few weeks back. But with that being said, my pick, and I think
Jay
this guy
takes Haley Deegan.
Yes. Dang it, you stole my thunder, dude. Oh no. I'm taking Kyle Collette. I just what I saw last year with how competitive he was as a rookie. He was competing with Louis Foster on a weekly basis, Nolan Siegel on a weekly basis. I think Kyle Collette, I think he's going to be one of your championship favorites all season long. And then for my dark horse, I'm going to go with Miles Rowe. I'm still high on this guy as a rookie last year. Maybe didn't perform as good. He had a lot of performances up at the top 6. I just remember watching him back in the USF Pro 2000s a couple years ago. And he was just dominant, man. Just absolutely putting the freaking whip on them boys. Like an ass to belt, or belt to ass, man. And I think this year, when you're losing Nolan Siegel, Louis Foster, Jacob Abel, you're losing some of these heavy hitters in the NXT series. I think that this is the year that we see Miles Rowe absolutely take a step forward this year. I think we're going to see him on a lot of podiums this year, and I think he's going to win races this year as well. So I'll take him as my dark horse.
Jay, was it Colette that I called last year, or was it Callum Hedge? I don't think it was.
You
Was it Rowe?
Yeah, you
No,
took
it
James
was.
Rowe,
It.
not Miles Rowe, but James Rowe. I swear,
Are
I
you
swear
sure?
that was who you picked in the off season. I swear,
I
because you
have to
picked
go
him
back.
several times last year
Okay.
as a dark horse. Because obviously you had Louis
Well,
Foster every week.
yeah, I had Louis Foster every week. Every week. Every week. I'm gonna change to Hedge, Callum Hedge, for my favorite. Yeah, I'm gonna go Callum Hedge for my favorite. Um, Rookie last year, did a phenomenal job, fourth in points. And you know what? He's got Colette to go after him this year. He's got a couple of new guys, or not new guys, but a couple other guys as well. He's got Rowe coming in as well. He's coming back. The other Rowe is coming back as well. And then Haley Deegan. So he's definitely going to finish ahead of those at least four of those people. Yeah. So that's going to be my favorite. My dark horse. I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path here. I am going to choose a woman for this race as my dark horse. And that's going to be Sophia Flores. Has done phenomenal in sports cars. Jump shipped over here to open wheel North America. Honestly, we should kind of expect a little bit of a slow start to the season. But you never know. Indy NXT was so fun to watch last year. So many... Yeah, it was so good. It was a great racing series. Which led to even a greater series, the IndyCar series, later on into the weekend. So, but you know, I think Sophia has a chance. I really do. I'm really disappointed. God dang it! Who's the driver that just left and went back to Europe?
Jimmy Chadwick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We lost Chadwick. Maybe Flores is a good replacement. Yeah, that's who I'm choosing. Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, this should be a good race, man. This is really gonna kind of determine, I feel like, how the championship of this season is gonna go for the NXT. I mean, Tom mentioned probably 5 different guys that I think any of those guys can win the championship. Especially one guy that I'm looking forward for the ovals this year is Salvador Del Alba, who was absolutely a freaking beast on the ovals last year. It'll be fun to watch him kind of maybe take the reins of the ovals now that Louis Foster's out of the series. So, and Jacob Abel, obviously. I think it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited for this race. All right,
Yeah.
Sunday, right after the Indy NXT race, it is the season opener for the NTT IndyCar Series, probably the greatest racing series on planet Earth. I'm so excited, man. It's gonna be on Fox. Will Buxton on the call, James Hinchcliffe, and Townsend Bell in the booth with him on Fox. I'm excited to see what Fox can do with IndyCar this year. I'm very, very hopeful, very, very confident that they're going to do an amazing job. The promotions have been fantastic. The racing's always been amazing. I don't think we take any step back there on the production value. And I think that this season is going to be an absolute dogfight for the title, Tom. I think I said it in the off-season race season preview. Alex Palou's your favorite going in, but God, look at Colton Herta, Pat O'Ward, Will Power. I don't think is done fighting for a championship. We don't know about Newgarden. Scotty Mack is super good. Dixon, I don't think he's done competing for championships. I mean, it is an open field for this championship this year, and I think everybody's gunning for the Hello Palou. And I think it all starts here at the IndyCar Firestone Grand Prix of St. Pete. We talked about off stream. Penske's been really, really good at St. Pete. Last year they had a little bit of a hiccup there with the issues with the restarts last year, and maybe put a stain on their season. I think it cost Scotty McLaughlin a chance at the championship. Lots of things did last year. I mean, he was so consistent or had so much speed last year, just didn't get the results at the end of some of those races. I look back at Laguna Seca, at Toronto, at Detroit. I mean, he had so many mistakes leading races or running up front, getting points. I think it all turns around this year. This is my pick to win the IndyCar Championship. I think he's due. I think he's top 3 driver in the series currently, right there behind Alex Palou, Colton Herta. I think are the next 2 best ones in front of him. I think this is his year, man. Scotty McLaughlin is going to win this IndyCar Championship. I'm calling it right now, and it starts this week at St. Pete. He's going to win this race in dominant fashion. I think he qualifies up front. I think he runs up front all day, and he puts on a show. And, I mean, I'd love to see it, man. Scotty Mack. All right, for my dark horse, this guy had an interesting start to last year, racing for Ganassi. He ran only the road courses in 2023, road and street courses. I thought he did fantastic. I thought he was the next big thing. Uh, kind of lost that ride with Ganassi, kind of didn't have, I feel like, a lot of experience issues, especially when he's transitioning full-time and getting into those ovals. I think that kind of cost him his opportunity there at Ganassi. But he's racing for Meyer Shank this year. And if you guys remember, last year, Rosenquist with Meyer Shank came out of the gates freaking swinging. I think he was top 3 in points for multiple race weekends in a row. I think he finished second to McLaughlin at Barber. He was up front, qualified really well at St. Pete last year. I think that the Meyer Shank team is going to fire on all cylinders to start the season off. And I really like Marcus Armstrong. I think he's a really great talent. I think he's going to win races in IndyCar. Will he ever be a championship contender? I guess that only time will tell. But I think he comes out of the gate swinging early. I think he's got a lot to prove with this move over to Meyer Shank. I'm looking at him as my dark horse. I think he's going to be a top 10 contender at the end of this race.
Yeah. Great picks. Jay, I was thinking about it. Top contenders for championship this year. Honest to God, I think all 3 Penske drivers.
Yeah.
I really do. Palou, Dixon. I think Herta has a shot. If he could get his team under control, man, he's got to get his team under control. And Award.
I think those are the 7. I don't think there's really any other name you could throw in there. Right now.
I don't really think so. I don't think so at all, actually. Yeah, I mean, those are just the dominant players right now. They're just dominant. They're just good. So, but I just wanted to add a little bit to that. I sincerely, that's just how freaking good this series is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so good. So with that being said, come on, man. It's Hello Palou time, baby. It's Hello Palou time. I don't care about no freaking Penske, motorsports, automotive, Team Penske, whatever. Bunch of clowns, in my opinion. I'm just kidding. They're a serious threat. But it doesn't matter. I think that Ganassi, they focus a lot on off-season stuff. So I think they can come out of the gate swinging. I think they can be slow like what they've been doing the past couple of years. Who knows? What we do know, though, Scott Dixon will do everything in his power to take that race away, and he can absolutely do it. Because he's just crazy like that. He's crazy. Dark horses. Now, this one's a little tough for me. We've been following this guy for a while. We talk about him a lot on this podcast, especially during IndyCar season. He's just incredible. He's an incredible driver. Got screwed over multiple times from a race team. Really had nowhere else to go. No other options. He got stuck at Foyt. And then on top of that, Foyt lost their biggest asset. Michael... again, I'm drawing a blank. Michael Cannon, thank you so much. Michael Cannon, they lost him. Malukas was going to do some absolute freaking work with Michael Cannon and David Malukas. I'm kind of worried about it. No, in fact, I'm really worried about it. But regardless, I still want to see what Malukas can do with equipment like that. I think it's good. I think he's going to drive the wheels off the thing. I don't know, man. There's a lot we're going to learn about this Foyt team in St. Pete. But I think if anybody can make them look good, it's going to be Malukas.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for Malukas, man. I think I said it earlier before we went live. I think Malukas is in that 12 car in 2 years. I think that's about as much time Will Power has left, and I think he is definitely primed and ready to get that Penske ride, which would be awesome. And I think Malukas is an absolute beast race car driver. I mean, there's just so many cool race car drivers in IndyCar that you just like hard to not pull for some of these guys, man. Like there's just so many good names and good talented drivers that their time is coming, man. We're gonna see a change of the guard in IndyCar here soon. It's gonna be interesting to see what teams can really take the fight to your big three. Does Rahal, the rookies that coming in? I mean, it's gonna be an interesting fight. I mean, there's a lot of good storylines going in this race, and we'll break it all down for you. We're gonna do a watch party actually on Sunday. It's gonna be fun. Noon Eastern time Sunday. If you guys are watching the IndyCar race, put us on the other screen and come hang out with us. Come interact with us in the chat as we get this IndyCar season kicked off. I am so excited for IndyCar, man. 5 days away from the IndyCar season. It's unbelievable. We're already back here and back in time. Oh man, I'm so excited, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait to go back to Portland again to go watch them race, man. I'm just excited for the whole IndyCar season. Indy 500. We got a lot of cool ovals coming up as well. They got rid of some of the doubleheader ovals. They still have Iowa, obviously, but I'm excited, man. This IndyCar's back, dude. It's back.
Yep.
We're primed and ready. Alrighty. Final race of the weekend is the Cup Series, the Eco Park Automotive Grand Prix. My pick is Reddick. I mean, it's easy. He's got the second highest average finish, I think, of anybody at COTA. It's a new short course. I think Tyler Reddick is the best road racer in the Cup Series. I don't think it's even close. The equipment's really good. This is a Reddick race written all over it. I think he wins. There's nothing else to really say. I mean, it's Tyler Reddick at a road course. I mean, what else can you say? My dark horse, I'm gonna go with Todd Gillen. I think he's got like the 12th or 13th best average finish at COTA. He's always a threat at road races. He's in that 34 car. It just seems right, magical. It seems right. He's gonna win a race before we know it, man. Todd Gillen is really talented. Why not this weekend, man? I think it's a good dark horse pick.
Great picks, by the way. Reddick is an he's a phenomenon right now on road course racing. So I would be pretty confident in saying, look, if you're looking for somebody to put on your fantasy team, easy points right there. Easy points. But with that being said, for my favorite, I'm gonna go with probably a usual pick here, Van Gisbergen. I was really impressed the first time I saw him race with Project 91 at Chicago. Won the race. I just thought that was pretty incredible, and so I've been following him since then, and I'm just continued to be impressed with what he can do. So I'm following him this year. I don't think he could do much. Unfortunately, it kind of seems like that Trackhouse team has I don't know, kind of fallen off a little bit. Maybe that's just because Chastain got soft. I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. This year will be a good test for Trackhouse on really dictating how much speed they have. But yeah, that's what I got for my favorite. And then my dark horse. This is a true dark horse here. I really believe, given his stats on road courses, especially COTA, I think he's got like an average finish in the past 3 years of like 4th place, 3rd place, or something like that. It's actually kind of crazy. It's Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs can win his first race this weekend at COTA, and I think that it's entirely possible. Really, I do, and I don't know. I'm really excited to see that 54, see what he can do, and just really excited.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick, man. Ty Gibbs has been really good at COTA. And he's due, man. He's gonna win a race eventually. And then obviously Shane Van Gisbergen. I mean, what a beast that guy is. All right. And then I guess my biggest thing about this race, Tom, is I'm not a huge fan of the short course, man. Everybody was complaining, oh, it's because whenever we have a caution there, it just takes forever. And I'm like, well, it's an easy fix. Just get rid of the caution.
It's Big Daddy NASCAR. You don't have to sit there for 40 freaking laps to pace, man. You don't have to do that.
No. So we'll see how it works out with the short course. I feel like it's going to be a downgrade off the full course, but we'll find out, man. I would love to see him go back to the full course, but we'll see how it works out with the short course. I'm going to go in with an open mind. I love road racing in NASCAR, and I think it's some of the best racing in NASCAR, to be honest, anymore. So we'll see how it works out, how it plays out. All right, fantasy time, Tom. All right, my 5-driver line. I'm going with Alex Bowman. Believe it or not, I think he's one of the most underrated road racers in all of NASCAR. He won that Detroit Street Race last year. He has the highest average finish at COTA since the Cup Series has been there, with an average finish of 3. He should have won 2 of those. If you remember the one that the rain was coming down so freaking hard, and NASCAR waited till Chase Elliott cycled to the lead for them to throw the yellow to give Elliott the win over Bowman. And then the race where Chastain and Allmendinger got into it, Bowman was in the picture, he got ran over. And then last year finished, I think, 3rd or 4th in that race as well, behind Byron and Bell. I think he's an easy point pick here this weekend for fantasy. I'm gonna take Reddick for obvious reasons. I think he wins the race. I'm gonna take Byron. He won this race last year. He's also really good at this track. I'm going to take Bell. He was also in the picture last year for this win. And then I'm going to take SVG, man. I think SVG is going to be a top contender as well. I think honestly, that's your top 5, dude. I'm not going to lie. I think my fantasy line is my top
5. Jay, I'm going to take the 88, which we share, the 45, which we share, the 48, which we share, and the 24, which we share. And that's purely based off of data.
Yeah.
I posted it in the Discord. You could see the datas. I posted it. But the one difference I am going to do versus you, yeah, I'm going to stick with it. It's Ty Gibbs. He just has that statistic. So, I mean, Bell has some good statistics too. I've said it since December of this year. Actually, I'm pretty sure we said it in November last year. Bell's going to win the championship this year. I'm just going off of data here.
All right. I mean, I think Gibbs is going to be in there too. I think that's a good pick. I mean, these are all quality picks this weekend for this win. Tom posted the data, and a lot of that I already knew. I already knew most of that stuff, but it was kind of interesting to actually see it in paper and see how they compared to others. It was kind of interesting. So, 100% confident in my picks. Matchups. These are some good matchups. We got Reddick versus Bell, which again, I think these are both top 10 drivers. I think Reddick wins the race. That's why I'm gonna take him over Bell. That's really as simple as it gets.
Yeah, I'm taking the 45 or the 20. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Okay.
I think.
Next one is Bowman and Gibbs, and this is a good one because they both are in the top 5 with the average finish at Coda. I'm going to take Bowman over Gibbs. I think this is the best. I think this track, Coda, I think is the best track for Bowman on the entire schedule in NASCAR. I don't even think it's close. This is 100% his best track. So I think he's going to be a contender for the win and a threat for the win. And I think Gibbs is going to be there as well, but I think that Bowman will just be a few spots better.
Yeah, I'm going to give it over to Bowman as well, just purely because of inconsistency of races, I guess you'd say. Just previously. The 48 has done some pretty incredible stuff on some road courses, and that's why I choose him.
All right, next one is Allmendinger versus William Clyde Elliott Jr. I'm gonna take Allmendinger here over William Clyde. I just don't think William Clyde's gonna have the speed. It just doesn't seem the same. I'm gonna take Allmendinger.
Yeah. Ever since he broke his leg, I mean, he's, doesn't have it. I don't feel like. But I'm choosing the same thing. I'm going with the Dinger.
All right, and then the last one is a teammate matchup between SVG and Chastain. Chastain's a former winner here, but we're talking about Shane Van Gisbergen in here, boy. That's what I'm taking.
Yeah, I'm taking him too. I think Ross has gone soft, man. I think he's gone soft.
I agree. I think that's a great point that you brought up early in this podcast for sure. We have not seen the same Chastain since Darlington of Darlington in 2024 or 2023. Yep. All right. That would do it for the podcast. That's everything I got for tonight, Tom. News, race recaps, race picks this weekend. IndyCar 5 days away. World Endurance Championship 3 days away. Oh man, we are getting back into the racing swing of things, man. I'm so excited for this weekend. This is like the first true racing weekend, man. It's no stupid freaking oval restrictor plate racing, no BS. We got some sports cars, we got some Indy cars, we got some stock cars on some road courses. This is gonna be fun, man. I'm excited. This is like the best weekend of the racing season so far, right here. I don't think anything compares that we've seen so far this season. It's gonna get better, obviously, as we go through the year, but I think this is the first big weekend of the motorsports season. I'm super excited. I'm gonna be glued to my TV, boys. Oh yeah, we're gonna be glued to the TV watching these races this weekend. I'm so excited, man. I'm jittery right now thinking about it, dude. I'm already doing the countdown right now to get down to this weekend. Watch party again on Sunday, noon Eastern time on Sunday. We'll be right here live on this YouTube channel doing a watch party for that IndyCar race. Come interact with us in the chat, hang out, watch the race with us. We have a great time with our watch parties, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. Kick off the IndyCar season the right way and experience the new Fox broadcast together, guys. It's going to be interesting. A new era of IndyCar, it feels like, coming into this 2025 season. Also, if you guys want to help support the channel even more, go to our merch store. Like I said, I'm gonna get that T-shirt made. What is it caution? I think I'm gonna get that on the merch store. If you guys want to help support us, all those proceeds go back to help us make bigger, better content for you guys here on YouTube. Also, if you guys want to support us, we have a Patreon page. We have some cool videos on there as well that are exclusive to the Patreon. A lot of our crash compilations and stuff that we used to have on the channel are on there now. So if you guys want to support us on Patreon, go ahead. It helps us out a ton. If you guys want to stay up to date with everything happening in the motorsports world, you can join all of our social media platforms. We post on those as often as we can, as well as our Discord. That link is in the description below. It is an awesome Discord channel. All the motorsports news, rumor, drama, whatever it may be. Even Tom mentioned earlier, we posted the BOPs for the World Endurance Championship in there. I mean, we post basically everything on our Discord channel. It's the greatest racing community on the internet, and it is right here for you guys to join. It's fun. Just come interact. Even post your own news, come interact, chat with other people. It's a fun time on our Discord, staying up to date with everything happening in motorsports. If you're a huge racing fan like we are, you guys are going to love it. I mentioned everything. I think that covered it, Tom.
Yeah.
I kind of blinked out there for a second. Yeah. All right. That's been everything, man. Fun weekend of racing ahead. Another great podcast here on Tuesday and watch party on Sunday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Full Send Half Mast Podcast, and we will catch y'all in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your week.